I finally got them. These two have been my most expected figures throughout the whole year ever since they got announced, and I'm really just excited that I got them here finally. I am a little confused as to how they arrived so early, but it really doesn't matter. I picked them up at Plaza Japan. You guys probably could too if you want them. I'm just really excited to get into this review. So, if you want to get these guys, they're on Plaza Japan. They're both like $55 each and like $26 plus shipping or whatever. This is the design of the front boxes they come in. This is the other side, and notice that it comes with the little emblems or icons from their iconic parts. This is what the back side looks like, standard S.H.Figuarts poses and stuff that's in the box. You've seen this stuff before. This is what it looks like on the other side, just bigger shots of them in different poses. And with that out of the way, we are going to be reviewing Jonathan first, and then right after it will be Joseph's turn to shine. Here he is, fresh out of the box, just looking like an absolute unit. Just looking at him, wow, the detail on the muscles in the shirt, just the hips, everything. Wow, if you've seen JoJo's, you know that it's all just about that. Just these men, big buff men, and I know that this doesn't do the manga Jonathan justice, not by a long shot. He is one big absolute unit. But this guy, and compared to him, just might not look that great, but trust me, he's still pretty big. He feels pretty big to me, and the muscles, the paints, the sculpting, all of it all looks really, really good, and I got almost no complaint. The painting, all the lines and whatnot. I wish there were more lines on his face to give it more of a current, accurate manga and anime look, but this will just have to do. The hair looks really good. I almost got no complaints. I will get to it once we get to articulation now. There is a few little issues that need to be said about that portion of the video, but we'll get to it in a moment. But yeah, just looks really good. The details on the neck, the paint, I would honestly say I think I really like these better than the Super Action statue, and I know that for the most part they have been dominating out there since they were for the longest time the only way to get JoJo figures, but I think S.H.Figuarts might be doing something with this one. But yeah, this guy looks, he's just really, really good. I will definitely be looking out for the other Joestars as they come. Joseph I'm very excited to get to him as well. But it's just nice to see that, Jonathan is getting some appreciation, dude. Doing some things here and there to adding some Easter eggs, like the little bracelets on his arms, his boots, the belt around him, the blue shirt just flapping around since he's always moving, the shoulder pads, whatnot. It's all just really, really cool stuff. But yeah. So moving on to articulation, he can look about that high up, and it does have a hairpiece that tucks in to help with the articulation. And yeah, that's what it looks like. And he does have head rotation along with the neck. The two parts move. His head can do a full 360, but to the arms, they can move because of the shoulder pads up to like this high. That is really good, really, really good. But unfortunately, he is missing the bicep swivel. I don't know why they didn't add it to him. Maybe they thought it interfered with his muscular build, but I really don't know. I feel like more figures have been able to do stuff like that, but it also does limit the joints right here, as you can see. It only has one joint. It looks like it could be double jointed, but because of the muscle, it will not go any further, unfortunately. But it does have rotation around the wrist, it's a ball peg and whatnot. They do have butterfly joints, so he can stretch out pretty far. I think my butterfly joints got stuck here just quite a bit. In the back bend, this looks like it needs to be heated. You can see right here that it does have a butterfly flap or joint right there, but mine seems to be stuck. But I do believe those have to be out to give him far wider range on, the crossing of his arms and whatnot. But His upper torso can move side to side. The upper torso, he does have a deep ab crunch. Just look at that. Along with the legs combined, just the ab crunch just gets even better. Just wow. So yeah, that's really nice that you're able to get all that rotation in there. Also, moving on to the legs, they can get about that high. It's not bad, that far out. And of course, this guy does have thigh swivel. One thing that gets on my nerves is that he's supposed to be double jointed here, but because of the boot blocking in the, in the indent there, can't bend any further, which I think is just a really, really bad decision of them. But what can you do? But yep, he does have the ankle ball joints, and he does have a toe hinge, so there's that. But they did make some questionable decisions with this guy, it seems. But maybe Joseph will be better in terms of articulation, but with what we got, it's not so bad. I think this guy works. He is pretty muscular, so maybe it's just something to do with that. Alright, let's move on to accessories, starting with the faceplates. He does come with this alternate yelling face. And there's this kind of like smirky, smiling kind of face. I don't know, I feel like the face sculpts could have been better. That was one issue that these figures were having, apparently, that they weren't accurate, but we gotta work with what we got. Next up is this sword and sheath, the Sword of Luck and Pluck. And it does go right in, as you can see, it just ports out. Really good feature right there. I'm really glad about it. Looking at the sword, you can see the writing here on the hilt that does says Pluck. That is a really nice Easter egg. Guys, I've seen the anime, know the reference to that and why it's there. So yep, and also be careful, it is pointy. He also comes with this backpack of sorts. It's this thing that he always carries with him. Fortunately, cannot be opened. It is just meant for display. Comes with these two straps. They're supposed to go into the bag, but I'll show that in photographs later. He also comes with some harmonic effects. Of course, if you've seen JoJo's, you know this is a very integral part of Jonathan's whole entire thing in part 1, which is how he's able to defeat Dio. These do look a little dark for harmonic effect parts, but I don't mind them at all. They do port into his hands with a different feature, and it's these little pegs. They're supposed to go into his peg joints and hold the ripple effects, which I will demonstrate in just a second. The pegs right here, it's going to be really hard to tell, but they do have little indents that have L and R to tell you which pegs and wrists they're supposed to go on. You can see it somewhere in there. This is what it'll look like. You can put the fist right back on. It'll look like this. Then you just open the harmonic effect parts. They will be in 2 pieces, and you port it into the little claw thing on the side right there, and you will grab the other side and port it into the claw part, and it will look like this. And that looks really good, I cannot lie. This looks amazing. Wow, it turned out better, much better than I thought it would. Just good. For the last accessories, he has these hands. They're kind of like open hands for his hamon, or just for his action and poses. Some relaxed hands, some semi-closed or relaxed hands, item holding hands specifically for a sword, but maybe other items, and some karate chopping hands just to put him in fighting stances. And then, of course, last but not least, he does come with a stand for himself that has a stone mask right there in the back. I really do think that is a nice touch for these JoJo's figures. But let's move on to size comparisons, as we gotta get to Joseph. Here he is next to S.H.F. Midoriya and the Marvel Legends Punisher. S.H.Figuarts Luffy. Super Action Statue Jotaro and Robotech Genos. And the Blockies Miku. This one really is a rare find. I do recommend you pick her up. Alright, and now it is time to review the S.H.Figuarts Joseph Joestar. If you guys can even see him. Alright, yep, so straight out of the box, this guy looks just as gorgeous as Jonathan does. Once again, the face might be the thing that's the issue, but the more I'm looking at these now, the more I'm getting used to them. Like, I don't know, I don't think they're that bad. I would have loved the lines to make them look a little more accurate, but they don't bother me that much anymore right now. But the sculpt on it, just as good as Jonathan's. The shirt, the muscles, the pants and the boots they got on here. They do have bicep swivel on Joseph this time. I really don't know why this was a choice for him and not Jonathan. I mean, it seems that they're just as muscular. You know, his grandfather's the beefiest, but you know, Joseph ain't far from that either. But the sculpting on his abs, you know, the shirt pressed against him, the belt, the boots, all of it, just really, really neat. I really do think this guy might be the best out of the both of them, but we will see. The hair sculpted nicely, but right now I think I really just want to just congratulate S.H.F for getting the bodies and stuff right. But let's see if the articulation and accessories and other things will be just as good. Also, I feel like a fake fan. I'm just adding this in here. I just realized while looking that they do have their sculpted birthmark on their shoulder. If you watch JoJo's and you're a fan of it, you will know that the Joestar family has that iconic star on their shoulder, that birthmark. Yeah, Joseph has it. Jonathan also has it. You can see it right there. And I don't know how I forgot about it and just completely flew by me, but I just feel very disappointed that I missed something like that. But anyway, back to present. Alright, so for the articulation for this guy, starting off with the head, he can look up about that okay, give me 1 second. As I was saying, he can look up, you know, as well as this movable hair piece, just like Jonathan, to make him look a little higher. I think mine's a little stuck because I'm not really seeing a difference, but he can look down this much. Apologize. He has head tilt, and oh my. So then, you know, he has just that with the neck, same as Jonathan. His arms definitely go higher than Jonathan's because he doesn't have a shoulder pad. He just has that one ball joint that goes up. There's the bicep swivel I mentioned. He also does have double joints, and I really don't know why they couldn't do the same for Jonathan, but who knows the reason. But ball pegs, you know, the wrists and all that, it's practically the same as always. There's the torso with his ab crunch bend. Just look at that. Seems like Jonathan's got a deeper crunch though. Might just be that mine is stuck. Not really sure. Gotta heat him up. But the leg kick goes about that high. Can kick about that far out. He also, I guess, was supposed to have double joints, but because of the boot once more, he cannot go that far. But I do see it wiggling sort of, so I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe it can be removed to fix it, or removed it, but I'm not really sure why. Yeah, then he has the standard butterfly joints that Jonathan does. His are also stuck for me, so maybe they're not doing their full potential. I'm not really sure, but I can try heating those up later to see. By the way, he can't kick up this far. Maybe I wasn't doing it right the first time, but that's how far it goes. So moving on to his accessories. Joseph unfortunately doesn't come with as much as Jonathan, and that's a little disappointing. I really think they could have given him a lot, like, you know, they could have given him the Caesar's bandana, they could have given him his Tommy gun, maybe a Coca-Cola bottle, or the Redstone of Asia, yeah, something like that. Anything like that could have been really nice, or some Hamon effect parts, since he's a Hamon user too. But regardless, you know, with what he comes with, I think is quite enough. Starting off with the faceplates, here's this smirky looking one. There's this angry, weird, I know your next line looking face. He also comes with this wired scarf, which I honestly think is really nice, you know, accessory. Extends this far out. And of course, you can wrap it around like so, maybe for some different action poses and whatnot, just to show how articulated the scarf can be. So you can use it whatever you want. He also comes with some clacker volleys, which, you know, is his finishing move that he tries to use on Wamu when they first meet. These little guys, you know, they're pretty cool. Like I said, I wish they had more, but they are wired, you know, as you can see. They can bend, they're wired and whatnot. Just, I really think these guys are, well, they are a good addition. Would have liked some Hamon too, but, you know, I guess these work just as well. Of course, Joseph also comes with a bunch of hands, just as his grandfather, and they all have a purpose or just serve for better poses. So, starting off with some open action hands, or you can just slide in the clacker volleys for him to hold and swing. He also has these like closed, relaxed looking hands. Some of these I know your next line hands, or maybe some weird clacker volley swinging hands. He also has these hands that look like they could hold the clacker volleys, just have them like spin around, because he also spins them on his finger, but he could also just grab them with balled up in his hand, just swing it around like a just normal clacker volleys. But yeah, and maybe you could fit in anything else that you find, like a Tommy gun if you have one. Then he also comes with some karate hands, just for fighting stances, because if anything, the Joestars love throwing hands. Last but not least, he also comes with his own stand with the redstone of Asia right there. I'm not going to bother posing him up to next. He is the same height as Jonathan, since they are, about the same height. The Joestars are known to be pretty tall men, so these guys are going to be a little taller than your usual figures and whatnot. So, conclusion, these two, I'd probably give them an 8 out of 10. I do love JoJo's. I might be a little biased here, but I also know when to be fair in criticizing certain things. Their articulation may not have been the best. They have their limitations, but they still work. I think I take these over a Super Action statue any day. I do think that their proportions are great. The sculpt is nice. The articulation on Joseph seems to be slightly better on the torso than Jonathan's, but I do think that they both have their ups and downs, but they still are a nice beginning to this JoJo's line for SHF, and I am excited to see what else they do with it. Eventually I will be reviewing JoJo when he does come out next year, so if you like this video, please subscribe to see that. Next video should be focused on my top 10 figures of this year, and I'm really excited to see that one. So if you did enjoy this, please comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.